Greetings, Tube Dwellers. Hello. Welcome back to Starcraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. I am your host, the Mad Bag. We've got more professional content for you. Professional. As if. Oh, no, I am not the professional of this professional content. I'm just the lowly caster. No pun intended. The professionals are actually the players. This is going to be another game between two professional StarCraft 2 players. In the top left corner of Whirlwind LE, we have the player from Belarus, currently on Team Na'Vi. This is the Zerg player, Lowely. He's had some amazing tournament performances recently. He took 4th in WCS Europe, and this game is from the Ritmix Russian StarCraft 2 League, which took place in late July. I think it happened on like the 17th or 18th, so just a couple weeks ago this tournament took place, and he placed quite highly, although I won't say anything about it, as may indicate spoilers. His opponent in the bottom right corner of Whirlwind LE is the American complexity player, QXC. QXC is old as dust as far as StarCraft 2 pros go. He's been around since the beta and before. He's had a number of amazing turnouts. Most recently, he made it to the finals of the MLG Summer Invite, where he fought Huck. Yeah, Huck. Huck level quality, Huck caliber player here. I won't say anything about those results either. It's kind of recent, so I'll try to keep this very spoiler light. In the MLG Spring Championship, QXC actually took the 13th to 16th place. There were a number of Koreans in that tournament. He won against a number of Koreans, so don't look at 13th to 16th and think, "Flah, this guy's not even in the top 10." The top 20 of MLG tournaments are all fantastic players, capable of taking games off anyone. And QXC going with the greed. He's going to whip out a command center first build here, and then he's going to put the barracks down. The drone is going to pop up and see that. So Lowely knows what's going on. And it actually looks like this was a 10 pull. And the lings are on the map. We've got 6 lings, another 2 coming out, so a total of 8. The back 2 are going to be a little bit delayed. And the hatchery is set to go down directly thereafter. So this is going to be some pressure, slightly cheesy pressure. This is one of those counterintuitive maps where it's so large that you shouldn't rush, so people rush because you shouldn't rush. And here we see Lowely doing it. This tournament, I'm not familiar. It may have forced cross spawns as well, which would put it into a... And actually that looks like it's not the case because of this Overlord's flight path. I would think Lowely would have known about that. But sometimes if cross spawns are forced, it's almost like it's a one-on-one map. You don't have to guess where they spawned. Lowely's going to do some damage. He's doing economic damage, just pulling these SCVs off, forcing them to repair. The repair cost minerals. The SCVs aren't mining minerals while this goes on. So this 19 to 12 is effectively about like 16 to 12, actually like 15, because that guy's up there, that little SCV. Oh, and Lowely pulling them off, bit by bit, as they get low. Not a Zergling was killed, a couple get pretty low. No ultimate staying, lasting damage done here though. QXC is going to get his gas up and he's going to slap the factory out. Now I wonder, that seemed kind of brazen right in front of Lowely. Is that? Yeah, Lowely did spot the factory, so Lowely knows that it's going to be straight into a factory follow-up. That's really common. If you don't see anything, that's probably what you're trying to assume, but it's always good to see it too. Oh, nice. There for a second I thought this drone was going to go scout. No, sir. This drone's got blood in his senses. He wants to kill. And Lowely's quickly catching up in this worker count. Kept it on the units tab for a minute here, and they're leveling out. I would still call this an advantage for the Terran, especially given that he has 2 orbital commands. An even worker count does not attribute the mules. Oh, and QXC might be a little delayed here. Nope, it looks like Lowely's going to back off. Or is he? Nope, he's going to take a dive up. Just mistimed, though. Hellion production will begin on that reactor. 3rd command center goes down. So far, this is like the bread and butter of Terran play. This is the most standard of all standard play. On the backs of 2 Marines, some Zerglings are going to get in here, and it looks like they're even going to get an SCV kill. Maybe a second. Maybe. I'm not sure. With some SCVs and these 2 Marines, QXC will be able to deal with this. Oh, a mule! Wow, there's 2 really full mules here, so I'm going to assume that that mule was was mostly timed out, but still, even getting the pick, a couple trips even, hey, that's money gained from Lowely's perspective. We can see this drone count has developed very nicely. Given that cheese, he's still not in a super comfortable position, but he's getting to a 2-base mineral saturation. He's actually there for minerals, just not taking this gas. He's going to take this one a little under, but he's got enough that he could transfer off of this. He'll probably leave him over there for when that one takes gases as well. And we see a Roach Warren coming out before any other choice of tech. The other 2 gases are going up in the main, and also a Spine Crawler. So looking very defensive from Lowely's standpoint. He's not going to take any risks. He's not going to be a greedy macro player this game. He's going to just get roaches and take things slow. He is set up to get a lot of gas, though. Oh, my. Just queens. The queens aren't fast enough. There's a lot of drones going down. QXC is making the most of these Hellions. Normally, you wouldn't want to commit Hellions like this because it can be really tough to get their money's worth out of them. But QXC, knowing that his opponent did some early pressure and might be a little bit slower than normal, he's going to send those Hellions straight in the front. We see 9 worker kills. That's really beautiful. That's awesome pressure for those 2 Hellions that he lost. And that definitely slows Lowely down quite a bit. He is still in a little bit of a drone lead, but again, mules totally make up for that. And here we see, again, standard Terran play. I would call this standard Terran greed, although don't take that as a bias. Terran standard play is quite greedy, as it can be quite greedy. The double engineering bays, very quick 3 bases safely within the real estate of your 2. All of this very common. We do see the walls up with the bunker at the mid. A couple refineries adding on. The barracks indicate this will be a bio play. Starport going down after the beginning of his 1-1 upgrades. Lowely putting a couple roaches together. He's just now getting Zergling speed. I don't see any Baneling nest, and the roach numbers are pretty low. Matter of fact, here comes a double Evo play, so this is definitely not any kind of all-in. It looks like it's not even a pressure. A couple Hellions poised to the side. Lowely does have his 3rd base coming up. Interesting, he chooses the 3rd base. I normally don't. I normally go up here where QXC's poking with his Hellions. QXC does not know that the 3rd's down yet. That can be dangerous because as a Terran player, without seeing that 3rd and seeing a few roaches, this looks like it has a high possibility to be a very heavy attack, a very aggressive timing, maybe even an all-in. QXC, upon seeing that 3rd, though, he's going to be a little bit relieved. Matter of fact, his own 3rd just now landed. He's getting a bunker out there, and he's going siege tanks. Very interesting. Marine tank. I feel like I've casted this now a time or 2 recently, and it's not common. It's not the Terran standard. Biomine, by all means, is the Terran standard. Kind of interesting to see a little bit of an ode to marine tank play. I'm not sure it's the most useful for my personal inspiration, though, as I don't see many Terrans do this right now in the Diamond League on the ladder. Armory is coming up. This timing looks beautiful. The Armory's going to finish just in time for him to start his 2-2. We'll have to keep an eye on this production tab to see if he does catch the player side of his timing and get it in there just right. I love how clean this creep spread looks. He's got them all evenly spread out. This makes creep spread nice and fast. He's going right out to the center of the map, rolling out the red carpet, and here we see QXC's 2-2 is starting. At least the weapons are on the way. I'm sure the armor will come in just a second when he gets the gas for it. Nope, there's the armor. Interesting to see how quickly QXC is taking all of his gas and actually spending it. He's staying very low on the gas count. That's kind of rare for Terran players, and it looks like he's got his timing. This is a 1-1 stem combat shield timing. 2-2 won't be done by the time this hits, but he's got quite a few Marines and he's got a few medevacs. I'm not sure that Lowely's seen these siege tanks yet. This Overlord has a little bit of vision. The siege tanks have been mostly poised elsewhere. This Marine count looks like it might just be a force designed to clean up some creep spread. And oh, he's going to get a queen, but holy fungal, the Infestor. What a trick play. Infestors, another thing uncommon. You don't see Infestors from Zerg near as much in Heart of the Swarm. It looks like he's going to try to fake Lowely out with his medevacs. I think Lowely might have seen that no Marines loaded up, though. No, it doesn't. It looks like he's going to be safe. He's going to run his forces back. And QXC's just going to buy some time with those medevacs. He's not going to actually do anything. It looks like a Zergling ran up here in the meantime. So Lowely did see the tanks. Lowely's got a bead on the composition that QXC's using. And this is really interesting to see two old school styles match up like this. Here in Heart of the Swarm. All very uncommon things. Infestors, siege tanks on the field? What is this? A blast from the past, that's what it is. Lowly, update on tech. Hive's coming up. There's a Spire somewhere. There it is. He's got 2-2 coming as well. It looks like their timing is pretty close on this. QXC's got a little bit of a lead. But unless he's got some sick timing sense, probably won't amount to much. QXC also getting his 4th base. It looks like Lowly's will be finished and in place before QXC's. But it looks like QXC's putting together a timing around this +2 upgrade. And it looks like he might end up waiting for his vehicle weapons. His vehicle weapons are a little bit behind the infantry. I would expect to see him hang on just long enough for that to finish. If he hits with his infantry, oh my god, the fungals. God, that's beautiful. We're going to take a look at units lost. Yeah, this cost efficiency from these couple fungals, excluding the early game where a bunch of lings were lost for a couple SCVs. Since then, Lowly's cost efficiency has been beautiful. QXC's going to try a little bit of a crazy drop. QXC, in the early stages of Wings of Liberty, known for his multitasking. He's going to use this drop to buy a little bit of time to get the Zerg's army pulled back into the main, while he moves his army right up the front. Give Lowly a nice little pow right in the kisser. Here come the tanks. The vehicle weapons are just about to finish, but the Marines are getting caught out. I don't see any fungals going down, but those were decent surrounds from the Zerglings, and he's got a good number of Banelings. Baneling speed just finished as well. If he would have had that, it would have been a totally different story. Oh, man. QXC. Now, he's lost all of his Marines, but the thing about Terran pushes is that once you've got a little bit of a beachhead set up, once you've got a little bit of a forward base with siege tanks, you can just rally your production. And look at this rally. You see it coming across the map. QXC even beginning to create some preliminary marauders, expecting the Ultralisk pressure. Infestors are a great addition to Ultralisks. However, Broodlords are too, and the Greater Spire's just finishing. It looks like that's going to be Lowly's tech of choice. That means these Marauders are going to be for naught. Lowly coming in from two sides here. Banelings are getting killed by the tanks fairly effectively, but there's a lot of Zerg stuff here. The Infestors haven't really spent their payload, and here it goes. It looks like Lowly aims to break this beachhead, and he's about to. The tanks low on count. Oh, just down to 2. This is no longer a beachhead. This is a remnant. This is a refugee force. Lowly's going to start looking for ninjas with the Zergling in the meantime. Good plan. Corruptors are out. He can turn them into Broodlords. He's going to prioritize Banelings first. He wants to make sure that he can deal with this Marine count. Once you're sure that you can deal with the Marine count, then you can get into some Broodlords. As you transition into Broodlords, though, it can be tricky. Low number of Broodlords really aren't good. You need a lot all at once for them to be good. They have one of the highest cost-to-benefit ratios as far as critical mass goes. Lowly's going to push in again. He doesn't have enough Zerglings. Oh, a lot of Infestors are getting lost here. A Fungal does hit. Oh, Lowly, that was really painful. A slight misstep. QXC had just what he needed to take out the ground forces, and he caught Lowly right as he's attempting this transition to Broodlords. Lowly should, I say he should be able to clean this up, but here comes that Terran reinforcement. QXC's kind of in Lowly's production line, and that's really nasty. Lowly isn't having the best luck with getting forces together, with consolidating and putting something with some Baneling pressure together. This is not going to be enough Zerglings. And QXC getting very close to that 3 damage. He's going to beat Lowly to the 3 damage, but Lowly will beat him to the armor after losing the race to damage. QXC takes out the 3rd. Lowly has the backup, so his economy is not totally crippled. He was mining a little bit off that backup before this went down, though. So some loss of income has happened. Lowly, I like this. He's running around to try to intercept this reinforcement stream. And you see the difference in army count here, in overall supply. He needs to do this. He needs to cut off the Terran reinforcements, or this death ball is just going to keep getting bigger. Lowly's also going to dodge into the 4th, but that's a planetary. Can't do much there. We have an empty bunker and no siege tanks. This is going to be nice. A lot of workers are going to go down here. And more so than the worker kills, Lowly's going to buy a lot of time. It's taken QXC quite a while to get over here. And even so, that gives Lowly all the time he needs to get out more Zerglings and put together some banelings. Now what I'm interested in, 2 infestors. God, that one move. That loss of infestors, they become so much more potent as time goes on, as you continue to get more use out of their renewable energy. Oh, Lowly, you don't want to do it. You want to get really good fungals on that, and I hope to God you can, or it's curtains. 3 Broodlords is not enough. That's nowhere near the critical mass. You know, it's not an exact number, but against this force, I would say you probably want at least 6, if not more than that. I always like to see more than 6 Broodlords. 6 still seems like a pretty paltry number. QXC aims to deny the 3rd once again. Guess I should refer to this as the 4th base. Again, he's going to move forward and try to establish this beachhead. Or is he? No, it looks like he's going to move back and regroup. He didn't actually take that base out. I'm not sure what spooked him. I don't see any action from Lowly on the map. For some reason, he's moving back heavily. He just finished 3-3. Looks like he has a plan to go into the extreme late game. He's just now getting the Corvid reactors and building some Ravens. Ravens can have an amazing cost efficiency similar to the Infestor, but it's kind of crazy to see QXC in this hugely advantageous position and see him not push it. Lowly aiming for the counterattack. I think this is probably about his best bet, especially since QXC is right up against his supply ceiling. QXC can't produce a whole lot, so this number of Zerglings QXC can't produce to respond to it. And it looks like Lowly's going to be able to get into the natural. He might be able to go into the main. A lot of damage could happen here. However, QXC could reciprocate a lot of that damage as well. His army is larger than Lowly's right now. I'm not sure Lowly can deal with this. His Broodlord numbers are too small, even with the 2 he's building. That's only going to be 4. That's still not a great number. Oh, the fungal wanted to be good. That projectile, though, slowed it down just enough. Lowly keeps wanting to dodge in there. Really odd that QXC's keeping his tanks unsieged. There goes the siege. Lowly's going to put out a couple infested Terrans as well. The Banelings get some decent connections. And actually, the siege tanks are cleaned up. Considering the armies we were looking at right there, that was an amazing hold. The Fungals are going to let Lowly take this. Beautiful work, all the while Lowly taking out the natural expansion of QXC. QXC's forces are scattered. He's got remnants of reinforcements all over the place, but he really needs to consolidate. Now Lowly is in QXC's production line. He's got enough lings here. They are 3-3. They have adrenal glands. This is a nasty little force to reckon with, especially when your forces are coming out piecemeal. All of these production queues are not totally synced up. Units come out 1 or 2 at a time. Well, okay, we got a little bit of a concentration of production happen here. Nice damage, though. That ling run by. That kept Lowly in the game. All of a sudden, the supplies are roughly even. The worker count is somewhat favorable to Zerg. Given the base count, I still want to say the Terran is in a better economic footing. He's got, 3 orbital commands? Yeah, at least 3. He didn't slap down anymore, did he? Nope. He does have, holy crap, 2 starports ready to make Ravens en masse here. But 3 orbital commands, I'm sure that puts the income, especially with the spread out bases. Yeah, you can see it's staying in the mineral count at least, right where the Terran wants it. This is a fairly sizable force, and it's well-rounded too. We've got just enough Vikings that I think it can easily deal with Lowly's very low Broodlord count. Although Lowly doesn't have enough. He's got enough Corruptors to deal with the Vikings, but I don't think he's got enough to shut the Vikings down so fast that they can't kill a Broodlord or 2, and that's really all you got to do, because that's not very many Broodlords anyway. QXC is going to drop over here on Lowly's 5th base, and it looks like Lowly's going to respond to that with a lot of Banelings, actually. If QXC sees this Bane train, then he's going to know he should be safe to move right up into this base. I really feel like a beachhead over there. You know, I guess map position-wise, this area is kind of dangerous, because if Lowly comes out into the center of the map, he can easily surround QXC's army, and then if the engagement goes bad, QXC can't retreat at all. He loses everything. Oh, Seeker missiles. That's going to even up this air battle. Oh, the Corruptors get out of the way. They get out of range just in time. Another drop coming over on this 3rd. I actually like that QXC's not committing his full army. I said just a second ago he could have moved up and taken this. But I think I like even more that he's just putting a little bit of pressure on it while mainly staying safe. Oh, and here's the opening he wants. That was enough out of position for the Zerg army that he's going to try to move up and take this 3rd, 4th, whatever it is. There are some Seeker missiles going down. Lowly's moving in kind of sloppily. He gets down a lot of good Fungals, though. His army, for the most part, is being cleaned up. The Broodlords are down. The Corruptors are down. He lost almost all of his Infestors, and he knows. Just a couple infestors. That was the final death blow. It's going to give QXC just what he needs to take this out. And though QXC's army here is small, QXC's rallies were still probably pretty powerful. You know, QXC's food count is really high for what I'm seeing here. I feel like I don't see a whole lot. I guess there is still some stuff scattered here and there in the main and whatnot. Well, that's going to be it for Game 1. This is a best of 3, again from the Ritmix Russian Starcraft 2 League. This occurred in July, in mid-July, so not too old. Recent strategies here, although uncommon. Still, hope you enjoyed it, fellas. Keep on watching. I'm sure I'll have more for you coming right up. Later.